fight against corruption is a reality. Where there is government and where there is money, there is corruption. Corruption always follows.
So I decided to confront this issue head on. We need to convene the municipal sector in its entirety. And then we developed a very comprehensive anti-corruption strategy for local government. So at ourselves, we lead at the forefront of fighting maladministration, corruption, and fraud. So in 2013, it was very surprising, and it amazed a lot of people that in fact local government itself is confronting this challenge, because other people talk about local government and you would expect local government to be the one that defends, no, there's no corruption. No, in fact, SALGA put before all municipalities an anti-corruption strategy, and through that process in Cape Town, we signed pledges, and it was overwhelming that all municipalities come to the front. Voluntarily to come as a pledge that was very clear that everyone will be an active partner to report incidences of fraud and corruption, will actively engage in fighting all forms of dishonesty, maladministration, corruption and fraud, and undertook to report these instances. And when we had that pledge signed, we then came back with that overwhelming support as SALGA. And we thought we must then develop what we call consequence and accountability framework.
Coming together as municipalities to say where are the critical areas which municipalities have been performing badly in this regard. Badly in the sense of no reporting on corruption, because that's the starting point, and also looking into matters of which cases have been handled by police and what are the consequences, because sometimes you discover corruption and nothing happens, and that becomes a real problem. The consequence issue is what we presently now are putting pressure on, and making sure that you don't recycle officials who have been fired from one municipality and then they go to another area again and get employed when they were fired on corrupt practices and so forth.
So there is now a very clear accountability mechanism to oversee that work and hold municipalities to account for incidences where there's people appointed irregularly. What are we doing to correct that? That's actually action, walking the talk. Here is a municipality, here is what is reported. What are you doing about it? And that's what we want to see right across all municipalities, because the moment you recalibrate a relationship with citizens, seeing you that you are acting trustworthy, you are also taking their concerns honestly and responding back. That's when you have municipalities believing that this is our municipality, I must also play my role and not being part of the equation of corruption. Because it doesn't start with an official sitting somewhere in a housing branch. It starts with you as a businessman who walks through to Johannesburg and twig around with officials why you should not pay your electricity account, which is 300,000, and warm somebody's hand and walk away with a bill of 6,000.
What we have been doing is to encourage our members, in other words, municipalities, to bring all matters that they have been investigating to councils for report, so that councillors should know where have been the problems and so forth. We also have been assisting and training internal audit committees to look into matters of risk and also of fraud, and also to be able to take preventive measures when it comes to those elements. A leader is somebody that always been there with the people, making sure that you bring a sense of hope, particularly during difficult times. These are difficult times, economically and otherwise. Highest rate of unemployment. But a good leader must basically be there to bring that hope. And by bringing hope, it's not about only talking, it's about being with people, feeling exactly how they feel, finding innovative ways of addressing their problems and so forth. Of course, government, national government, provincial governments will be there also to assist them. But you need to have leaders on the ground